Hello and welcome everyone. I am December Farms and this is Attingham Park. Since this map has come out, I've been wanting to play on it. I know it was big in FS19. I never actually played it in FS19. But it looks like a nice map. I've wanted to try out kind of a UK map with just some different equipment. And I've also wanted to start a Let's Play style series. This will be a Let's Play, but it's also going to be focused on the new MaizePlus and the Pumps and Hoses DLC, because I really want to try them out. So we are going to start out on this map. I decided not to buy one of the preset farms and just kind of build my own. I have a little time-lapse video in the playlist if you want to check that out. It just kind of shows me building some stuff. There is some changes I made that are not in the video, and I'll show those, and we'll do a walkthrough. This video here is going to be just kind of a startup, show you all the equipment, show you what's going on, and hopefully we can get started on one or two of the fields and get some stuff done. I have not played at all with the new MaizePlus or the pumps and hoses, so this will be a learning curve. So without further ado, let's get going. Suppose I could show you the corner of the map we're in. Pick this corner up here. We own fields 23, 22, 18, 17, 19, and this little strip of trees. I also bought the BGA because I redid it and put in the new pumps and hoses BGA system, as well as some of the MaizePlus buy points. That's it. We are running precision farming. And I know that MaizePlus and Pumps and Hoses DLC, that all the fill types and stuff won't be compatible right now, but hopefully with some updates soon we'll be able to get those taken care of down the road without too many issues. So coming into the farm on the main road, we have this cow barn, this cow pen. We do have 10 Holstein cows. And I do have the animal grazing, and it does work. It should tick over here soon because they have pretty much no feed right now. Coming around to the main farmyard, we have a garage here, where we have stored our mixer wagon, our feed wagon, feed mixer. We have 3 of these, not really sure how to say the name, Duca silos, Ika silos, that we can store some of the products in for our animals. That way we don't have to be driving around all over the map. We have this silo here. I forget the capacity on it. We have a liquid manure tank or slurry tank. We also have the separator here. This way we can use some of the separated manure for bedding. Coming through over to here, we have some of our equipment. Now, like I said, I wanted to try out the pumps and hoses DLC, so I didn't want to start with $0 and one tractor and do 1,000 contracts. So I wanted to start with some equipment, some decent equipment, so we could just get going right away. We still have a lot to buy. There's a lot of things that I need to try out, and MaizePlus, still has a lot we can work with. But we have the pumps and hoses trailer here. Has the extra hose reel on the back. We can use the hose, tie right into that. We have the trailer here, the Brantner trailer here. I think it's 33,000 liters. We have the New Holland T6 155. small tractor here. We have the JCB Fast Track, get which number it is. The medium one, not the big one. Oh, there it is. 4220. We have the JCB telehandler here. I did not realize how noisy that thing is. I move it. That's the weather station thing. I've never really paid attention to it. Over here we have a McCormick, and it is the X8631. I was torn between this one, the Valtra Q series, and also the Landini. But the problem is, I know I'm going to be needing a little bit more horsepower. The JCB Fast Track has 235. The New Holland there is a smaller tractor, I think 155. And then we have this here, which is 313. 300, right around 300. But I knew I have the baler I have, I'll need, I think, 250-ish horsepower. Plus, if we're upgrading or get into bigger equipment, going to need to still buy a planter and a plow. Usually plows, they get a little heavy on the horsepower side, and gonna have to figure out how to get rid of deer. For some reason, didn't realize when I built it here they'd be running through all my sheds. We have the New Holland CH7.70. It is just the base game one. I was really torn between this or a class harvester. Wasn't sure. Then we have the header, draper header here for it. I'm thinking about using this shed. It's pretty big, but using it for bale storage. I also have a little bit of storage over at the cow barn. And as we progress, we could obviously store other stuff in here. Over here we have the Kubota Sidekick. I just wanted this, honestly, for just convenience of towing around this little guy and some other stuff. Telehandler. Forks. This is the pumps and hoses, the water pump to clean your hoses out. We have a 100-meter hose, two 300-meter hoses, 500, I believe a 500-meter. And I had no idea what I was needing. We might not even need anything close to this, or I might need way more. I'm not sure. We have the one big hose reel here. I figure with the hose reel on the back of the trailer, pump trailer, we'll be able to use that too. The front loader for the New Holland workshop station here. Then here is a diesel tank. I believe we have 2,000 or 5,000 liters. Then in here we have the applicator for the pumps and hoses. That is the MaizePlus plow state. Basically grasslands plow state. It removes the plow state from grass fields without actually digging up your fields. We have the Pottinger mowers, Kverneland header, Pottinger drill, glass baler, and the Krone windrow. Like I said, we still need to buy a lot of stuff. We need a lime, something to spread lime, something for herbicide down the road. We do need a bale wrapper. I have to buy that sooner than later. We need a planter because we don't have anything to plant. Then we also will need a plow. And I'm hoping to get a forage harvester at some point. Over here is the house. And this was just over here. I would have to, I think, go into Giants Editor to remove it. But we might just leave it there. old, burned down, broken down house. Over at the cow barn, we obviously have the slurry output here. We have some, I guess, just storage, kind of the hay loft. And we have the feed point here, and the straw or the separated manure point here. I believe the milk trigger is right here. Somewhere right here. This is a workshop type station, but it's not an actual workshop trigger. I think I have mobile workshop on, so I might just use that or come in here and pretend to use it. That open the door. And we have, I think that's it. There is technically, I think, hayloft up there, but it's kind of annoying to get up to. Oh, see, they ate some of the food. Ten cows, 21 months old. They don't start producing milk, I think, until 27 or 28 months old. I had been doing a little tinkering and testing just to see kind of where everything was at. So that's why I have this in there. We do have some slurry already. I do have slurry already in the... So I put a bunch of slurry in the My Liquid manure tank over there. Just because I wanted to be able to get right at it if we needed to. Might be overkill. I might just, you know, once I get used to the hoses and everything, we might just take it down and we can use our animals for that. I also wanted to kind of test out this and see how it worked. I don't know if I need to put automatically does it or not. We are playing on, I think, just normal economy. Yeah. 3 days. Because 3 days tends to work best with the animals, MaizePlus, or it's just, that's the recommended. Sure why it won't. Oh. So it's on. Guess let's look at our... No? Not sure where it shows it. Oh, so it's doing it right now. Okay. I think it stores 20 or 30,000, 35,000. I'm not sure. I can show you some of the equipment real quick for the pumps and hoses. So the BGA is in here. So you have 3 different separators. And the separators basically takes the liquid manure, separates it, and you can use the separated manure, or liquid manure. You can use the separated manure as bedding for animals. You have 3 different ones. This one's 20,000, 35,000, 45,000. Then we have basically the BGA tanks. Fermenter, small, medium, large. And then these are, they take the methane and will sell it as electrical charge. So your fermenter takes, these products and gives you digestate and methane, just kind of like your typical BGA. And then these are the different size capacities. Then these are your fill points and how much they can handle. Then your gas torch burns excess methane. So if you have, say, the large fermenter and it can produce a lot, and you have one of these bigger fill points that's loading it up, and you have a smaller cogeneration plant, then you might need the torch. Or if you just have a lot of excess methane sitting there and you're filling it up, you might need the torch to burn it off. The silos, so there's a whole bunch of them. You got kind of this small, medium, large. I think I have the medium one. Yep. And you have the open tank, open atmosphere ones. And these ones are kind of shorter, but fatter or wider. Those ones are tall. Same thing, covered and open atmosphere. I believe that's it. MaizePlus, we have a couple bunker silos, manure pit, these points for the mineral feed. I don't think they're buy points. Silo extensions for those. How much? 102,000. I think that's it for buildings. Equipment. Pumps and hoses. We have the compressor, which is to help clean out your hoses. Your hoses can get blocked up, which then causes basically issues with the hose not being able to work properly, or your feed is off, your spreading is off. Your reels. Then we have a couple pumps, containers. I'm hoping this is enough capacity, the 12,000 liters for some of the fields, and I'm close enough. I suppose I can go back and refill, but if I'm having to refill an insane amount, we might have to switch to this larger tank. Or see if we can bring another tanker to the side and fill off that. I'm not sure if we will be able to or not. Then I bought, I believe, this one here, 8 meter, and already has the arm and everything hooked up to it. Maybe down the road, if we're feeling it's way too small, we'll grab one of these larger 12-meter ones. The water pump. This is a separator that, like a mobile one, you can move around. Hoses, and then the wrench is used to hook hoses together. So you need this, essential. MaizePlus. We have the mill, and I'm gonna have to buy this, I believe, because I want to use the dairy. There's a few different recipes in MaizePlus, and I want to use for animal feed. I don't want to use the dairy cow one. Need grain grist. Probably gonna need the mill, I believe. That or find a way to buy it. This is that subsoiler I'm talking about. Basically resets the plowing state and adds one fertilizer state, but I don't think it rips up the field. This one accepts MaizePlus bales, except for CCM. This one does the 240 bales. Then there's a whole bunch of different bales you can buy. And there's the brand for the feed. Suppose I could just buy the grain grist straight up until we can afford the mill and maybe do our own. Probably have to go that route. Every type. Then I have another brand of seeds, some pallets for carrot, potatoes, and everything in that. Do have over at the BGA, I have this truck and this trailer. That's just so I can transport things if I need to. And I'll show you the route. I have to basically drive around the entire map almost to get to the BGA. You have molasses here, which we'll need. The filtered water we'll also need. Or no, filtered water here, which we'll need. Lupercell. I don't know how to say it. Horse hay, some other brand stuff. But let's jump over to the BGA. But first, so I'm here, and the river runs basically right through here. The only point to get across this bridge over here. So I have to drive all the way up, all the way down one of these side roads somewhere. Whatever road gets me over there, and get the road over to the BGA. Here is what I've done to the BGA. So we have, these are buy points for MaizePlus. This is, what I think it's beet pulp and beet pulp silage, or beet pulp so you can make beet pulp silage. Then you have brewer's grain. Yep, that middle one. Then this is, I'm not sure. Probably the feeds, different concentrate feeds you need. That's oh, that was just here, the diesel storage. We have the larger size BJA plant, so we have the point to put your bales and stuff and whatnot in here. We have the BJA itself, or the fermenter. We have the cogeneration plant, the large one. We do have the torch kind of sitting back here in the cubby, and if you watch the time-lapse video of me building, you'll see me do all this. We put the shed here. We have this over here. The branded truck and trailer. Then we have a, I think it's, I don't know if it's the largest one or a medium one, the liquid manure tank. We also have the bunker silo, the clamp here. That's pretty much it. Now I do want to set a few kind of rules for myself, so I'm not just adding in a bunch of money and we're just going crazy because I want to test everything. I have enough equipment now, I think, to get us started. We can do some contracts. We have enough fields to get going on the animal feed and everything. But I do want to focus, like I said, for this series, we're going to focus on MaizePlus and the pumps and all. And I didn't want to do that starting with nothing. So, our first goal, I believe we have all grass fields. So, we're going to do some, going to need to get some hay, going to need to get some silage. Also going to have to figure out what we all need for that recipe. I believe it is, I have the PDF up. There is a PDF for MaizePlus. I have it linked down below. It has a ton of information about pretty much anything you would need to, what the different recipes are, or what to feed the animals, how it works, how the brewer's grain works, or the beet pulp silage, brewer's grain silage, the grain grist, pretty much how it all works. So I wanted to do the Dairy Cattle 2 food recipe, which means we're going to need silage, hay, brewer's grain, mineral feed, grain grist, water, and molasses. We don't need the filtered water. Or you can use either or. For the mineral feed, we can use the mineral feed, the base game one, or the one they have added in. The brewer's grain, we're going to need to get brewer's grain silage. Then we're going to need maize silage or grass silage for the silage part. So we're going to have to do a field of hay. Probably start off just cutting like 18 with hay and running like 23 with silage. Probably do more silage or hay off those too. But suppose we could get started. That's running pretty fast. No, that's not too fast. Only 1,000 liters out of the 25,000. 35,000. It is taking the liquid manure down. I wasn't sure how that would all work. That's why I dumped 500,000 in there. We do have 50,000 on the bank account. And that's it. So we're gonna start up. Not with that tractor. With our JCB. JCB was the one main tractor I really wanted to play with. I really enjoy the look of them, and I think they're kind of unique, I guess. Plus, I'm in the UK, right? Should be. Oh, it just started raining. That is a buzzkill. Maybe we'll fast forward to noon. Well, I'll see you over at the field at about 12 o'clock. Alright, we are back. We are at field 18 here, and I just wanted to show you a couple things. With MaizePlus now, there is fresh grass or conditioned grass. So with the mower, you can mow it without the conditioner or with the conditioner by pressing Z there. You can also change, I believe, the selected mode of widespreading or doing a swath. We're going to do widespreading because we're going to come over and ted this and turn it into hay and then row it. The conditioned grass is kind of your, I guess, typical grass. You can pick it up, do everything with it, pretty much the same. The fresh grass, you will need to either ted it into conditioned mode. Let me double check the PDF here. Yeah, so if you mow like a real wet fresh grass, then you would want to put it to basically conditioned grass, then a semi-dry grass, which will then ultimately turn into hay. So there's a lot of different stages in the tedding. If you really want to, you don't have to. You could just mow it and ted it straight into hay, which we might do, or we might maybe give it a couple passes. I'm not sure. I will have course play on, so we might just have course play run around a couple times or do some fields, do it, and then pick it up tomorrow, the next day. And then you can even backtrack some of the stages. So say we mowed it, headed it to semi-dry, then we had a big rainfall, we could go back to conditioned and then head it again to get it to semi-dry or to hay. It's all part of the realism aspect of if you want to play realistic. You want to add that extra steps or in-depth steps. But you can, like I said, you can go from grass fresh to just standard tedding straight to hay, or you can go from grass fresh to conditioned with tedding, or you can mow straight to a grass conditioned state. I just realized I made a mistake. So if you look here, you can see I forgot to make the front mower do the conditioning. So we have conditioned grass here, and we have the fresh grass cut here. So we'll just, when we ted it, we'll have to make sure we put it to the right state. So let me hop into the tractor here and change our conditioner there. Alright, that should be good. Need the nearest waypoint. Hopefully we're on the path. Yeah, okay. Alright, so continuing on, we had grass, fresh grass. We can ted it to conditioned, or we can mow it to conditioned like we're doing here. Then do the standard tedding to get it to hay. We can do fresh grass, conditioned grass, semi-dry. You'll have to read the PDF. There's a lot in there. I think what we're going to be doing is just doing the conditioned mowing. Maybe as we get more in depth, we'll try some different stuff, but we'll do the conditioned mowing. And maybe we'll ted it to semi-dry, let it sit overnight, and then ted it to hay. Just for some of that aspect. We'll also see how much work we have and where we're at. 'Cause we do need to get the cattle some feed before they go starving. But I think from here we're just gonna kind of watch this do its thing, and I'm gonna transition to some music and do a little bit of a montage / time-lapse type deal. I'll catch back up with you later.
Now that I'm looking back, I can see all the signs I tried to fill in the cracks that were spread in my mind, but I was all out of hope, lost in an endless maze.
And we are back. Must have had the mower length or size off slightly because we kept leaving a few little rows of grass behind on each edge. Just going through and cleaning up some of that. And then this field will be ready. Like I said, I think we might try maybe 1 or 2 stages of the tedding. See how it goes. This series is going to be a lot of learning. So we're going to make mistakes early. Hopefully we learn or we can adapt and change and kind of get how we like to play MaizePlus. I know when they made the mod, they wanted to make it so that people could really go in and kind of customize it to their taste. So they made it where you can adjust almost all the XMLs, so you can adjust pricing on everything. You can adjust the feed ratios of animals, and like I said, I know they made it so you can adjust everything. I do have the realism add-on for grazing, and the way that works is the cows will eat the grass inside their pasture, and it'll fill up a small portion of the feed on the bar, and it'll fill all 4 bars. So if we look here, every hour or something that they're able to, as long as there's grass in there that they can eat, it'll fill this up, I think up to 25% if you have enough, and then it fills each bar a small portion. So you have your base foods, which, look real quick. Base foods are grass silage, maize silage, and whole crop silage. The roughage is alfalfa hay or just regular hay. The moisture foods are potato cut, sugar beet cut, brewer's grain silage, beet pulp or beet pulp silage, and then fresh maize. Forage harvested. So from the forage harvester, you can get fresh maize. The other power food is mineral feeds, grain grist, canola, soybeans, beet pellets. So you can just add those 4 different ingredients in there and get what you want, or go with the mixer wagon, get a recipe together, and then it fills it all evenly as you need be. I have noticed that pasture's kind of small, and I don't think the cows get a whole lot out of it, but it's enough to feed them for a while. And like I said, with MaizePlus, you can edit where they will eat a lot less. With the cow edition or the animal editions mod, eat a ton of food, but they also produce a lot of milk. You just got to get them up to that age first. So I have it just kind of set at base, whatever it is, standard. If we need to, we'll adjust it, but I'm hoping with the 3 days feeding cycle and all these grass fields and everything, we can get enough feed to make it through the summer and get established and get through winter. Alright, I'm gonna mow this field now with off camera, and then we will come back with the tedding. I knew we'd have to do a lot of tedding, so I got hopefully a slightly larger tedder. But if we check here, we have up in the corner, we have tedder stage base game, which would just take us right to hay. We have conditioned, which we are already at. We have semi-dry, and we have hay. So if you do base game, it just acts like the regular tedder from no matter what it would do, just that it turns into hay. Then these are the ones where you can actually move it back and forth. So we'll run it to semi-dry because we're on condition now. Then tomorrow we'll turn it into hay and get it hopefully baled. You'll see it's a little bit lighter green color. See, here we have the conditioned grass, kind of a darker green. Fresh grass is really dark, which we saw over there. Now this is the semi-dry, which is lighter. And obviously hay will be even lighter. With this series, like I said, I want it to be kind of a let's play, but I also want it to be where we can all learn about MaizePlus, because I do want to focus on MaizePlus and also the Pumps and Hoses DLC. I want it to be something that when I make mistakes or when I'm working with it and learning how to make, design it my way, you guys can learn as well. Everyone watching can learn, and they can also see how MaizePlus can be set up to be custom to every person individually. It does take some effort and work, but in the end, learning how to do those smaller little edits or learning some of the XMLs and how they work can really help you in the long run with mod conflicts and other things. And also with the Pumps and Hoses DLC, as that's something kind of totally different. Not a lot of people have probably really any experience with something like that. It'll be something we can learn together, and you'll learn from my mistakes so that when you go play, you don't have to do the same thing. I think that's going to be it for today's episode. Like I said, this was kind of the give you the tour, show you what's up, the layout of my farm build. I wanted to build something a little unique to myself. I might add some like fencing and some other stuff too, kind of get it a little more styled. I know I have kind of a big yard. Some of these UK maps, they don't have a yard like this big, but I'm sure we can find a way to clutter it up, tighten it up. I do eventually want to add in sheep, and there is a sheep pasture kind of down the road that way, tucked away, but I need to edit the map or edit the grazing areas so that it'll work with the grazing mod pastures. That or I'll just have to feed them. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me. And we will get busy and get going on the next episode. I will catch you all later.